Absolutely. So I would say I have a little bit of an unorthodox path to getting where I am today. And I think it's actually a really good lesson for students. I started out my career with the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee. I was working on asbestos litigation reform, doing econometric modeling there. I had always envisioned myself at some point going to law school. I was getting ready to leave the committee because I was engaged and needed to join my fiance in Utah for a year before moving on and going to law school or whatever the next phase of my career would be, and landed at Overstock, who happened to be lobbying the committee at the time, to tread water for a few months until we were ready to move on to a new location. I got involved in the early days of something called web analytics, which was tracking and analyzing what goes on a website and finding ways to improve the business accordingly. And as I did so, I discovered I really loved that segment of the industry because we just had much better data than anybody else has, and much more to work with. So I continued chasing that and ended up finding a great career for myself in the analytics and e-commerce strategy space. And I never would have envisioned that, but I followed the opportunities that were available. I think the key in all of it was, and it's part of Overstock's hiring philosophy, don't think of yourself as having a specific role or a position in your career path. Don't think of yourself as an analyst. Don't think of yourself as a supply chain guy. Don't think of yourself as human resources. Think of yourself as a skill set. In my case, I was good at solving problems with data. That's what I was doing in the Judiciary Committee with asbestos litigation reform. But that was also the same thing I was doing with web analytics in e-commerce. And so think about what your skill set is, what package of abilities you bring to bear for an employer, and think about how do I maximize a career using that skill set, not a career in a position. And that gives you the flexibility to follow and chase opportunity without siloing yourself into a fixed career vertical in a given company. Sorry, what was that?